Blue Eyed Samurai is dope. So I finally got around to watching Netflix's new show, Blue Eyed Samurai. And I gotta say, it was pretty damn good. I was seeing it posted everywhere on all type of social medias. It was popping up on my Facebook and my Twitter and stuff. Even my brother-in-law was telling me that I gotta watch it over Thanksgiving break. Now, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was kind of put off, you know what I'm saying? At first glance, it just kind of looked like your typical 3D anime, and in my opinion, these 3D animes have not been going well. I remember one of the first ones I came across, Ajin. This show was ass, I'm not gonna hold you, it was terrible. And even the new Trigun Stampede, I haven't even given that a shot yet because I love the OG Trigun, one of my favorites, and I don't want to ruin it. Anyway, the point is, the 3D kind of threw me off, but clearly I jumped in anyway, you know that because you're here watching this, and shit, I'm glad I did. Now, technically the show is a mix between 2D and 3D animation, and I think that's an important distinction because this show has some beautiful scenery in it. And after getting used to the 3D animation over like the first half of the first episode, it lends itself well. Now, before I get into talking about some other aspects of the show, just remember there might be some spoilers going forward. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, go watch the shit first. So the story revolves around Mizu. She's got blue eyes and she's kind of a samurai, just in case that wasn't like very apparent from the title of the show. She is a half white, half Japanese person during the exclusionist Japan time where Japan didn't allow anyone into the country or anyone to leave. So how she became half white, that's a mystery. Not really, some white dude was probably fucking a Japanese woman. Anyway, because she's half white and she's got blue eyes, she's been constantly ridiculed growing up, and she vows to find the 4 white men that are left on Japan, as one of them may be her father, and kill them. Now, me being a black man growing up here in America, right, with everything that goes on here, 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow laws, so on and so forth, it was kind of funny watching a show about a white person being the minority and being racially profiled. When me and my niggas first found out what this show was about like that, we started dancing like, but in all seriousness, you know, racism isn't funny no matter who it's directed towards or what race or person it's targeted at. You know what I'm saying? It's not a laughing matter. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that. But even then, me and my niggas was still dancing like. So Mizu's a dope, pretty complex character. She's on a path of vengeance against all the white people in Japan, all 4 of them. And her character and her actions reflect this. That, coupled with her upbringing, makes her a pretty hard, unfeeling type of character. She openly states she has no room for friends and companions and stuff like that. But even that is touched upon well. There's a part of the story where they do some of her backstory and show like a little relationship type stuff and what happened, and it's really well done. I feel like all of the things that the creators show her go through really help to strengthen the type of character she is. There's really no wasted scenes in my opinion. But she is a flawed character and she has a lot to learn. And throughout this first season, we get to see her overcome some of these flaws. Now, to my surprise, the supporting cast is almost just as well-rounded as she is. Abijah Fowler is the main bad guy of season 1, and he's pretty dope. He's got his own ambitions, as you know, all bad guys do in shows. And the threat that he brings to the story and the world that this is set in is a very real one. Sadly, in my opinion, his strength lies in where the show ended and where it takes him into the next season. We don't really know how his character development and everything is gonna plan out, but I'm definitely interested in seeing it. Now, Taigen, he's a samurai that's supposed to be like one of the best samurai around, right? And early on in the story, Mizu pulls up and whoops his ass. So naturally, he's all like, yo, I gotta get my motherfucking honor back, bro. She destroyed me in a 1v1. And then naturally, you know, you would think that they're gonna have their 1v1 rematch down the line, but honestly, their story goes in a much better direction. Without saying too much, his character is very well-rounded, and he ends up having an extremely complicated relationship with our main character. He also has a complicated relationship with one of the other characters, Akemi. Now, Akemi, she's like royalty, right? And her and Taigen trying to be together, but like some politics kind of getting in the way. It's kind of the princess doesn't want to accept the life that was given to her trope, but it has a pretty interesting spin on it. And by the end, well, we don't know which way she's gonna go, but I feel like they kind of left her path a little open-ended for a reason. Now, there's some other good supporting cast in the show that I could touch on, but I know if you're looking at an action anime, you wanna know what the action is like. And it's pretty damn good. Fluid, well choreographed, kind of reminds you watching like an OG martial arts movie. If you're anything like me, you probably prefer your typical 2D anime, probably just because that's what you're used to. There's a lot more of that. But I think we're finally at the point where 3D anime has come into its own and it's starting to look really good. And at least for me, this show is kind of a testament to that. Also, I want to say this show is graphic. In the fight scenes, they got bones snapping through skin, a lot of body parts getting cut off, people getting disemboweled, heads coming off, blood squirting everywhere. It's great. But also, this show not for the kids. It's got some full frontal nudity a couple of times for men and women. One thing I really enjoyed though is that Mizu doesn't have the insane amount of plot armor that most main characters have. She actually kind of gets her ass whooped like a lot, taking very serious injuries, but still trying to fight through them. Now, while we know that as a main character, there's a very huge chance that she's never going to die, it does add a decent amount of tension to the scenes and a little bit of creativity in how the creators are going to work around that handicap. Now, there's definitely some other things that I wanted to touch on in my script, but they were a little too spoilery for how I wanted to make this video. I'm trying to keep them as spoiler free as possible for the people that maybe haven't seen it yet. So for those of you that haven't seen it but are here watching it, hope you enjoyed my review. Go check out the show. If you're an anime fan, this is one of the better ones of the year. Please go watch it for yourself and hop in the comments and let me know what you think about it when you do.